Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ozzy, head day game coach for the ABCs of Attraction, and we're going to be discussing today some of the differences between dating a Latina versus a white girl. All right, some of the differences that you're going to encounter when dating a Latina versus a white girl is one obviously has lighter skin, the other one probably has darker skin. Now, but all jokes aside, it's a very different dynamic. First of all, if we just talk about personality, white girls, especially here in LA or the big cities, they tend to have a very much more bubblier personality, right? They're quicker to interact and socialize with you, whether you're out doing some day game at a grocery store and you start an interaction, or you're, say, in a nightclub. Now, when dealing with a Latina, they can be a bit more reserved. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not an indication that they're not interested. It just means that you have to pursue them a little bit more compared to a white girl. You got to understand that there's also cultural differences. You know, white people tend to be more vocal overall, whereas somebody who might have a stronger religious background, Latinas tend to be a lot more Catholic, they can be a little bit more reserved and quiet. All right, so what you guys need to know when you're trying to approach a Latina is that since there might be this cultural difference, there needs to be a little bit more leading in terms of your interaction. Whereas if you're dealing with a white girl, she might be quicker to reciprocate and talk back. A Latina might be a little bit more standoffish, but if you lead and continue the interaction in the correct way, she will eventually open up. Now, you're wondering if there's a difference between dating a Latina or a white girl when it comes to interracial dating. If you're Asian and you're wondering, do I go towards the white girl? Do I go towards the Latina? What are the differences? And one thing is, Latinas would generally be open to everybody and anybody. It's not going to make that much of a difference. Now, if you get into subcategories of white girls, some of them tend to stick within their own racial group. Now, that's not a bad thing or a good thing, but when dealing with Latinas, since there is a much bigger family, there's a bigger emphasis on family and family structure, they tend to be open towards more ethnic groups. Another difference is when it comes to dominance and being a little bit more sexual. Since Latinas can be a little bit more reserved, they require you to come off a little bit more dominant. Whereas a white girl who's just naturally a little more bubbly, she's willing to go with the flow a little better. So with the Latina, yeah, you have to lead a little bit more. You have to take charge. And this does translate into being a much more dominant interaction. And finally, when it comes to relationships with a Latina or a white girl, with a Latina, be ready to meet the family and all of the family. Family is really important in the Latin culture. There's a lot more interaction between family events, family reunions, get-togethers, compared to somebody who's white. Not that they don't have any, but it's just more prevalent in the Latin culture. So be ready to meet everybody. All right, guys, these are your little tips. If you want any more information, you can reach out. I'm the head day game coach here at the ABCs of Attractions, or you can click the link here, maybe up here, and I'll see you guys in the next video.